Welcome to our Huddersfield Town preview, West Yorkshire Sport on BBC Radio Leeds. I'm Catherine Hannah. We're building up to Huddersfield Town away at Wolves this weekend. Paul Ogden, our town commentator, is here with me. Team news first of all. Now, is there a possibility that Mark Hudson might be back?
There is a possibility, and I'm really pleased to learn from Chris Powell's press briefing that he is available for selection again, but I would be very reluctant to change the team even to accommodate somebody of Mark Hudson's calibre, Catherine. What are you going to do, take Elliott Ward away after all the things he's added to the team since he started his loan from from Bournemouth? You could say the same about Joe Lynch. Huddersfield Town haven't been perfect at the back. They're still yearning for that clean sheet. And it is a yearning now, almost an obsession. But even with Mark Hudson available again, I would just leave him be. There are some good things going on at the back of the team, and it may be that we soon have to live without Elliott Ward once his loan has expired, which is quite soon. So I think Mark Hudson will get his chance again when the time's right. Yeah,
although interestingly, Chris Powell did say this week that they're hoping to have conversations with Bournemouth about hopefully extending that with a bit of luck. So we'll see where that goes. At the other end of the pitch, Ishmael Miller, quiet by his standards against Nottingham Forest. It wasn't a great game for him, so might Wolves' way be the time to bring Nahki Wells back into the fold?
Yeah. That's a very wide and logical expectation amongst Huddersfield Town fans, just because of the night specifically that Ishmael Miller had against Nottingham Forest a couple of Thursdays ago. But I don't want to give the impression that he needs to be pilloried and needs to be booted out of the team, because Ishmael Miller, I think, has been underappreciated for the work he's done off the ball in the last 3 matches, where Huddersfield Town have turned a very worrying start to the season into a 3-match unbeaten run between matches 7 and 9 inclusive. Ishmael Miller is a very useful tool to have in the box, especially when Nahki Wells is maybe lacking confidence and has had a bit of a barren period in front of goal, which by his standards he did before he was relegated to the bench. But I think we saw some evidence against Nottingham Forest that Ishmael had run out of steam. He will come back and get his chance again when the time is right for his specific kind of ball-holding, central defender, worrying, in-your-face kind of skills. Against Wolves, when they're under pressure at home, which they are now, you perhaps do need a Nahki Wells, supported by a Harry Bunn and Sean Scannell and Carroll, with those nippier skills. Balls down the channels, getting in behind quick. I think they're due a change up front. And Ishmael Miller will sit on the bench. It'll be fine.
They just need to give Wells the right sort of service, though, if he does come back in, because if Wolves have got 2 big, strong central defenders, hoofing the ball up to him is going to do nobody any good whatsoever, and he'll have a very frustrating afternoon. So what do they need to do in terms of the setup and the formation to make sure that if it is Wells up front, that he gets the right sort of service into him?
They need to play the ball more accurately into feet. And if they're going to hit over the top, don't put as much on it as they were doing in the opening 6 matches of the season. That's a very simplified version of what the problems were at the time. And actually, when Miller and Wells were paired together in that opening phase of the season, winless in 6 matches, there was a remarkable lack of chemistry between the two of them. So I would like to see Wells. I would like to see him given the opportunity to turn Ebanks Landell or Danny Bart or whoever it is at the back, Hawes. These big lads for Wolves who are very competent players, but they do turn slow. Town have tested that last season when I think it was Chris Powell's first away win as town manager. A really memorable night. Bunn on great form, Scannell scoring, Cody got his famous goal, and he's now a Wolves player, of course. But, you know, Town have got the kind of tools, different kind of ammunition to be able to challenge this particular Wolves makeup. So I'm really fascinated about tomorrow's prospect at Molineux, and I think Town have got at least a draw in them, if not more.
Yeah, they've got a good record at Molineux as well. Apparently, no home wins Wolves have got against Huddersfield in 8 league games now, so they do have a good record at Molineux. You mentioned Conor Cody. Do you think he'll play?
I would be tempted to play him if I was picking the Wolves team, but he's just back from a lengthy suspension after he was sent off against Charlton. And they've also got the Welsh lad Dave Edwards coming back from an injury, possibly. So actually Kenny Jackett has got some big decisions to make because, of course, they won handsomely at Fulham on Tuesday night, did Wolves. There are many reasons for them not to change the team. So, ironically, Conor Cody might not from the start at least, face his old teammates. If he does, he needs to be watched because he's a very clever player and worth £2 million, as we know. Wolves have got enough. They've got enough in their selection to pick a good 11, and it's going to be probably, including the last 3 games unbeaten for Huddersfield Town, this number 4 will be the most difficult of that sequence of 4 for me.
7 points in 9, though, going into this one, so lots to be positive about. It's an early kick-off, so make sure you join us on West Yorkshire Sport from 11:30 on Saturday with Oggy, Kieran O'Regan, Gareth Jones. They're getting up early. I don't get up that early. Absolutely not. They'll describe all the action for you. So 11:30 in the morning on all BBC Radio Leeds frequencies, so 92.4 FM, 774 AM, DAB. You'll be able to find the match there and kick off then at 12:30. Join in the debate, as always. We love to hear your views, so if you'd like to discuss what you would do with team selection, or possibly a bit more on strikers with the likes of Leon Best and Shola Ramiobi, still names circulating around Huddersfield, please do 81333 for text messages. Start those with WYS or tweet us at WYS Daily. Don't be late. 11:30 BBC Radio Leeds on Saturday.